Derek Evans here, your host. Derek Romo in the studio with me from the Work at Home Business Expo. And here's a couple questions I have for you, Derek, because I really do feel like you're kind of the crusader here for all this stuff. At least more than anyone else I've ever seen, who's trying to encourage other people to have the opportunity to work from home and to write their own checks, so to speak. Um, are you ever worried about the fact that most people who do start their own businesses fail? I think you mentioned earlier 90% of restaurants fail. Do you concerned about that when people are wanting to start their own business, that the likelihood is that they will probably fail at it?
No, I can't really let that concern me. But what I can do is remind people that this event is an opportunity to educate yourselves so that you can make the best and most informed decision about what you want to do and whether you want to do it. In fact, anyone who has ever been uncertain about starting their own business or starting a home-based business should be the greatest advocates of an event like this, because nobody's trying to sell you a specific business opportunity at this event. I shouldn't say nobody. They're all trying to get you to join their teams, but the show itself is not advocating one over another, and you have all the power.
Okay, so for most people who probably fit into that, group of people who are going to fail, 90%, let's say it is, I wonder how many of them actually did this much research, because that's kind of the problem. It seems to be people just they get an idea and they go head first into the deep end, or what they hope is the deep end of the pool. Sometimes they find out that it isn't.
I couldn't agree more, and I don't have any empirical data to support this, but my personal observation is exactly that, and that is the majority of people who fail at something did not go in it prepared. They didn't go into it not expecting what it was going to be like. One of the things that troubles me about even my event is running a business and growing a business takes a lot of hard work. You're not going to achieve success overnight. You're not. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I don't know anybody who it's happened to. If you're that person, then good, more power to you. But once you participate in even if you participate in one of these events, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to achieve great financial and professional success right off the bat. You have to keep at it. I have a regular exhibitor who's done every event with me. He brings in his business model, but he doesn't just do my events. He does events all over the state. He's on radio. He does print advertising because he understands, and we have this conversation all the time, that in order for him to carve out his market share and continue to grow, he has to work at it every single day and use every medium available to him. And part of what this show's about is actually hopefully to educate those people, everybody, about that reality.
Yeah, that it is going to be some hard work, no question. I think that's the allure, and perhaps some people in the industry or other companies out there have created that. Because if you look at like a TV advertisement for a work at home business or something like that, that may be kind of what they're going after. People walking up getting checks out of a mailbox or something like that. So they may have kind of built that image into people's mind. And what you're telling me is that at the expo, people will get the reality of the situation. In other words, they'll have resources that can help them execute, and they'll have options for different ideas on different businesses that may fit their lifestyle or fit them personally.
Yes, I think I might characterize it more as the opportunity for the reality. People still have to, take advantage of all of this education to make an informed decision and take a real assessment of their own skill set. Um, I there are a lot. I think there are people that say, "Oh my goodness, I really love that product, and so I want to be a rep for that company." And they've never really sat down and done the personality assessment to let them know that you are not a salesperson. You don't like to sell. It's not in your wheelhouse, if you will. It's not part of your skill set. You're setting up yourself for a very difficult road ahead. So I think you have to have this is a chance to educate yourselves, but you have to take advantage of the opportunity to make a realistic assessment of not only the business, and not only the people you're working with, but of yourself as well.
Yeah, very, very good point there. You got to know yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses if you're going to be successful out there. That's Derek Romo from White Horse Ranch Productions and the WAB Expo, Work at Home Business Expo. You can get free tickets to the event. It's not this weekend; it's the following weekend at the fairgrounds. Go to wabexpo.com. wahbexpo.com. Just click on the big yellow rectangle there to get your free admission. Just register. They'll email you a ticket, and then you'll get in for free. Or you can pay $5 at the door if you really want to, but why not when you get it free when you can? wahbexpo.com is the website. And yeah, I think, here's something that's really interesting to consider for those out there who are really interested in this and who are listening intently and want to own their own business. I've known some of the people, the best business owners I've known were not the sharpest people that I knew. They were smart enough to know that they needed to do research, they needed to read up, and they needed to hire people to work for them who were better at doing certain things than they were, or who were smarter at doing certain things than they were. Some people go, oh, I hate computers, or something like that. So I could never run a home-based business. It's going to be on a computer. I'm going to have to deal with computers. Well, there's ways around that that aren't silly either. That actually make a whole lot of sense, where you can outsource these things to certain people. And I'm sure that the outsourcing world has got to be a big component to some of these home-based businesses.
Without a doubt. As a matter of fact, even I use them. Outsourcing, it's something as simple as a phone system. A layperson's perspective might be, well, I can't have a home-based business. I don't want to have multiple phone lines, or what a hassle, and I don't want to pay for it. Technology is offering you, the little guy, the opportunity to give the appearance of a large corporation with multiple phone lines and an 800 number, and the ability to access this information from your own telephone or from anyone's computer anywhere in the country. All of the accoutrements and amenities that are typically associated with a corporation are available through outsourcing if you just take the time to look for them and then decide which one is best suited to your particular business model.
Yeah, whatever that may be.
Whatever that may be.
Yeah, whether it's your own idea, which we certainly encourage people to consider that as well, along with the other opportunities that are more kind of built to market, so to speak.
Yeah, and you know what? I've learned many of these lessons on my own. Email is a perfect example. When I first started the WAB Expo, I figured I was going to handle my own email database. What's the big deal? I had a website hosting system that had its own email software in it, so not a good idea. What the ultimate lesson there was very clear, is that the time and effort and the frustration and all the colorful language that was associated with dealing with that system was not worth it. When I went to an outside provider, it's become seamless and a lot less time and a nominal expense. So all of those resources are going to be available at the show.
Very, very cool stuff. I'm looking forward to this. I've never been before. In fact, I hadn't ever heard about it until I heard that you were coming on this show. And I'm glad that we're able to give people this opportunity, because I also believe you don't want to be an employee. You're just not in control of your own fate. If you own your own business, you're in a situation where you can control your own destiny. And that's control, and that's really, if you want peace, if you ultimately want peace of mind, are you ever going to be able to have that if you're working for someone else? I don't know. Maybe people have it. Maybe some people do. But I was personally never able to do it in that fashion. And I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again. You can find out about all these resources we've discussed today by going to wahbexpo.com, wahbexpo.com. Also, if you Google WAHB, W-A-H-B, you'll find it right there. You can register for a free ticket to the event next weekend at the fairgrounds. And you can also find out more information. What other stuff is on the website that someone might be interested in? Is it going to show the exhibitors and some of the different stuff?
Yes, excellent point. There's free seminars all weekend on a variety of subjects. Some of them are educational. Some of them have to do with specific business models. There's a pull-down list under seminars for the seminars for that weekend, and so you can schedule your visit to the show around those seminars or that seminar that interests you. There's also a list of exhibitors. There's also some free resources where you can pull down and tap into links for things that I know you'll find relevant for your business. There is one thing I should clarify too, and that is the event is free. The fairgrounds does charge for parking. I have no control over that. So be prepared if you do want to park on the fairgrounds proper to pay a parking fee. Even I have to pay it. So
no free lunch.
No free lunch.
It's your first lesson in business.
Exactly.
Everybody's got to pay. Great stuff, Derek Romo. Really appreciate you being here today. Thanks.
It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Great stuff. I will see you at the expo, not this weekend, but next weekend. Get your free tickets, wahbexpo.com, WAHB expo.com. We'll be back with more San Diego Spotlight on Thursday at 2. We'll see you then.